Ladies and gentlemen, 2023 Kawasaki Z900RS. I am super excited to ride this bike. I kind of like the look of it. I really like the Z. I really like the Z series. However, we're not exactly talking about super classic or anything like that. It's just, I don't know, modern, retro, I guess. I do like the gauges. The gauges are very nice looking. 948cc inline 4-cylinder engine, claiming a brake horsepower of 111, and MSRP is a little high, but it's a retro. This is the cafe version. These bars are interesting. It's almost like they should be, I don't know, it's kind of weird how they're mounted. You got adjustable brake and clutch levers, fully adjustable front and rear suspension. No cruise control. Oh, it's not ride-by-wire. You do have throttle cables. This is ABS. Well, for 12 grand, I would hope it'd have ABS. Honestly, for 12 grand, I wish it had. Wish it didn't have ride-by. I wish it had ride-by-wire and cruise control. Rider position. I'll get more to that when we start riding. At 5'9", I am on nearly flat-footed on this bike. I'm on the just outside of flat-footed, so not too bad. Not too bad. Whew, engine brake is heavy. I mean, I'm getting fork dive under engine braking in first gear. Very well balanced. Rider triangle is, you have a little bit of a lean forward. This does not have a quick shifter. Just trying to find all the different things that this bike does not have or has. Like I said, I really do like the dash. I like the kind of the retro style look to it, yet still having the little LCD in the middle with the gear indicator, Kawasaki traction control indicator, fuel gauge, temperature sensor, average speed, or I'm sorry, average miles per gallon. I mean, this is not a low power bike. I mean, 111 brake horsepower. It's decent. I mean, for 12 grand, I don't know. We're skirting the boundary here as far as price goes. We're skirting the boundaries of price. Rider triangle. It's different. It's kind of a lean forward. I got a little bit of pressure kind of leaning this way. It's more towards the center of, more towards the tank. Well, obviously this is the cafe edition, so kind of expected to be even more aggressive, but just for me, I think cafe racer, which puts me way down here in the way more aggressive clip-on style. This does have a pretty good sized riser extension on the for the handlebars. I did mention the mirrors. They are very, very good. I'm sitting at 6,500 RPMs in second gear, and I was doing 50. This bike redlines at 10,000 RPMs, and I don't think I'm going to be hitting that on this road. I might, but this is obviously a group-led demo ride, so I'm gonna work inside the confines of the group. We have a pretty good group right now. find comfortable foot position on this bike. This throttle is very snatchy. The on-off throttle, the feel, dive, accelerate, dive, accelerate. It's very jerky. I mean, I'm sitting at 6,000 RPMs. Obviously, I'm not, bugging my helmet. I'm sitting at 6,000 RPMs, so I mean, I expect to see a little bit of that brake dive. But honestly, when I get back on it, there's a real strong acceleration pull and then dive. You know, it's very snatchy. It's not very streetable. It's like 3,000 RPMs. This engine kind of starts to wake up a little bit, and you start getting that on-off jerky throttle. It's like the engine just wants to go. It wants to run. Yeah, it wants to run. It is very, very strong. The engine is very strong. But everyday streetability, it's... the throttle is... The throttle is very, 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 very sensitive. I don't know how many varies that was, but it might not be enough. I mean, it's a good bike. It is. It's a good bike. And I like just about every bike that I ride. But generally on rides like this, I'm not going to get a chance to do a lot of different things. I get a bike from a dealer, I have 20 minutes, and that's it. That's all I get to ride. I have to make my determinations on bikes, how I feel about it in that time period. And for this particular bike, so far, the only major problem that I have is that snatchy throttle. That's it. I mean, aside from that, the rider triangle, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the rider triangle. The snatchy throttle, though, is, I mean, it's very, very pronounced. And it would get tiresome on the street. It really would. I mean, this engine is really solid. I mean, this 948cc inline 4, with the power that it's offering, I mean, claiming 111 at the crank, is what I've kind of always considered the perfect street horsepower rating, because it's got enough horsepower to get you out of trouble, get enough horsepower to do anything you ask it to do for the most part. You know, perfect street horsepower. It really is. Perfect street horsepower. Cannot complain a bit about the power. It doesn't feel super heavy. It just rolls down the road. The seat is pretty comfortable. This checks most of the boxes. As far as overall street bike, this checks most of the boxes that you could ask for. Honestly, I'm not sure I would buy this bike personally, but somebody did. I can see why. It's a solid bike. My biggest problem with group-led demo rides is that there are certain things I can't do, and honestly, the channel isn't big enough for me to be able to do all those things. As the channel continues to grow, and I get an actual bike, you know, I get bikes that I can take off-road, that kind of thing, that would be great. But right now, all I'm gonna get is a street ride, and I have to make a judgment call on how that bike is on the street. As a street bike, this bike is pretty good, but that snatchy throttle really puts it off. Really does. Ladies and gentlemen, Z900RS. It's a great looking bike, it really is, and it feels pretty good. It's just the snatchy throttle. You know, you get rid of that snatchy throttle, this bike becomes something a little bit different, and I think at that point, for me, it might be a viable option, but as it stands right now, no, I can't say I'd go along with it. But, yeah, that's one guy's opinion. Everybody, stay safe, and as always, enjoy the ride. So turn your back.